Good morning, second hour. Let's start week 6. If you haven't already, go ahead and open up your slides for today, or you can start opening up quiz 3. So first, let's go over what you can expect today, what you can expect this week. I'm also going to go over what the changes are as far as the school schedule goes. Once I'm done doing those things, I'm going to lead you through a practice for your quiz 3. You have that this week. So I'm going to go over the multiple choice questions on it and how to best approach multiple choice. You folks, as promised, are going to get a lot of time today to either work on quiz 3 or to make up any missing work that you have. So this week, Fedora and I have designed the schedule to give you more catch-up time. All right, tomorrow, more time to catch up. Today, late or tomorrow early is when I will post mid-quarter grades. So if you want that to be different than what it is currently, I suggest you get your stuff in, especially the 3 quizzes for the class. Those are the ones that are worth the most for your grade. So one thing that will change after spring break is we'll only have open office from 2 to 3, and that's because, on Wednesdays, I should say, and that's because of the changes in the school schedule. But before I get to that, let me let you know about 2 other things happening this week. So first thing you should know about that's happening this week is ACT meetings. So this is where if you signed up, if you're an 11th grader and you signed up to take the ACT, this is you meeting with the counselors to fill out the non-test parts of the ACT form. So to find out when your meeting is, you can either check Schoology or look at the list posted outside the counseling office. The other thing that's happening this week is spring conferences. So those are Thursday from 3:30 to 8:30. They're going to be virtual. If you or your parent want a specific time slot to talk, let me know. I'll schedule that for you. Otherwise, I'm going to be on the Google Meet most of the night so that if you want to pop in and ask questions, or if your fam wants to pop in and ask questions, you absolutely can. And a reminder to get on the G Meet, you either type Copeland in the Find Meeting, or you can use the same link for Open Office. So let's talk about what's happening change-wise as far as our school schedule goes. Hopefully this is the last change, major change of the year. We'll see. So far, I think students are doing their best to roll with it. That's all we can ask. So this happens the week after spring break. Spring break is next week. So the week after that is week 7. That week, we're going to have a shorter week to prepare for this transition. So what that means is you won't have school Thursday and Friday. How we'll work the schedule is the week after spring break, that Monday is going to be day 1 for you Monday, Tuesday folks. And then that Tuesday is going to be day 1 for the Thursday, Friday students. You absolutely can, if you want, you absolutely can be a distance learner. So what's happening with this new schedule is starting in week 8, we're going to have students coming to school 4 days a week. So no more Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday split. If you wish to be a distance learner, whether that's continuing or a change, I would let the office know as soon as you can. So that way all our schedules line up. And frankly, that way your teachers don't have to make like 5 different copies of the seating chart every time it gets updated. So like I said, week 8, you start coming to school 4 days a week. We'll still have the same kind of rules, same kind of policies, masks, social distancing, washing your hands, all of that. We're also keeping Wednesdays open. So you won't have class Wednesday, and that's so that you can catch up and so that distance learners can have another day to check in. The last week of quarter 3 is week 9. So in other words, quarter 3 ends Friday, April 9th. I've made a compare and contrast for you of what stays the same and what changes. You can look at that at your leisure. Here's the part that probably is most significant to you. So this is what those changes look like with our learning schedule. This is what you can expect work-wise. So like I said, the week after spring break, we got 1 day of class. So in that 1 day of class, we'll learn about transcendentalism and Emerson, and you'll have 2 short pieces to read. Week 8, when we're back in class 4 days a week, we'll continue transcendentalism with Thoreau. We'll read 2 pieces. And then I'm also giving you time in week 8 to finish up and submit any late work from weeks 1 through 7. So that's going to be due Friday, April 2nd. That includes those 3 quizzes so far. Finally, the last week of quarter 3, going to teach you about a poet named Whitman, also going to teach you about a poet named Dickinson. So we'll be analyzing their works. Also, week 9 is the absolute deadline for any week 8 and 9 work because the quarter ends April 9th. So there's the plan for you. The quiz you're going to take today is 10-point summative. And if you choose to take it tomorrow, that's fine too. I have written down on the slide every single question that is on it. So before you even take it, you can gather your materials. Just like usual quizzes, it's based on the work you've already done. So quiz 3 is about the week 5 work. So you're defining satire, you're talking about Washington Irving, and you're talking about satiric writing in The Devil and Tom Walker. All right, so at this point, I'm, as promised, going to help you practice for this quiz 3 by going over the 2 multiple choice questions on it. All right, so I'm going to show you how to best pick an answer for multiple choice. So the best summary of why Washington Irving is significant to American literature is that he, notice the key word here, the best summary. So you can have more than one right answer. That's why you got to read all of the possibilities for multiple choice, because more than one can fit why he's significant, but you want the best summary of why he's significant. Sometimes students don't read the questions carefully and they get it wrong. So our options are A, he was one of the first American romantic writers to become internationally famous. B, he wrote most of his works using silly names instead of his real one until he was 40. C, studied law as a young man, but he liked writing and people watching more. Or D, traveled to Europe for 17 years. Well, we're trying to figure out why he's significant to American literature. So A is the best answer, as it talks about why he specifically is important to American literature. So he's one of the first American romantic writers, and he was one of the first to become internationally famous. So the answer for that one, the best answer, is A. For this next one, I'll pause so you can see if you can figure out the answer before we go over it. All right, so your other multiple choice question in this quiz is, which characteristic of American Romanticism best fits Irving's The Devil and Tom Walker? So here we got that word best again. We may have more than one characteristic, but we need to pick the best one. So which characteristic of American Romanticism best fits Irving's The Devil and Tom Walker? So is it A, finding truth and inspiration in nature? B, reacting against the Puritan past and fears of industrialization? C, characters fighting for love? Or D, all of the above? So I'm going to pause and have you decide what do you think the answer is, and then we'll go over it. Well, first we need to eliminate the answers that don't work. So we know it's not C because romanticism is not about love. It's not about romantic love. So we know it's not C. We can eliminate that answer. And because we eliminated C, we know that we can get rid of D, all the above, because if it's not C, it's not all the above. So boom, boom, those 2 are gone. So now we're down to A and B. Which of these best fits Irving's The Devil and Tom Walker? Well, both of these, A and B, are characteristics of American Romanticism, but hopefully you in reading it went, but the one that fits this story the best is B, reacting against the Puritan past and fears of industrialization, because the whole story is about the evils of the Puritan past. It doesn't really talk about truth and inspiration in nature. So we know the answer is B. So at this point, I'm going to give you folks, I'll leave the schedule up here. So at this point, I'm going to give you folks the time promised to either make up your quizzes 1 through 3 or to get in any other missing work. So use your catch-up time wisely. If you have questions, absolutely message me or you can ask in the meet. And remember, you have answers and examples in your examples folder. Look there if you're stuck. All right, go for it. Use your time.